Okay, in your math notebook today, we're going to start on a brand new page. Notice that the holes are on the left-hand side, and we're going to write our title in that section at the top. We are not going to continue on the page from yesterday, even if you had extra room. Today, we're going to talk about review of fractions. And then we're going to write our I can statement. We're going to make a star here. I can remember all the facts I know and learned about fractions before break. We learned a lot of different things about fractions before break, but this is kind of highlighting those things in 4 main categories. Go ahead and get this all written down. Remember, you can pause the video if you need more time. So the first thing we're going to talk about is fractions as division problems. So the very top we're going to put, not the very top, but the first line we're going to put is fractions are division problems. No matter what kind of fraction we're dealing with, we are dealing with a division problem. So I started out here with 3/5. If I have the fraction 3/5, it is going to be the division problem of I have 3 items and I'm trying to divide it into groups of 5. If I had 3 cookies and 5 people needed to share it, of course each person wouldn't get a whole cookie. They would get pieces of a cookie. Same thing with 7/8. If I had 7 cookies, ooh yum, but now 8 people want to share it, of course I can't say, oh well, 7 of those 8 people will get a full cookie and the last person gets nothing. No, they're all going to share it, so they're all going to get part of a whole cookie, or a fraction, 7/8. So here we have 2/5. In your notebook, go ahead and show 2/5 as a division problem. The next thing that we learned before break time was that fractions can sit, I can show a fraction on a number line. They can sit on a number line here. So we're going to talk about fractions on a number line. If I have the number 3/4, I have less than a whole because I need 4 to make one whole item. If I had 3 cookies and I'm trying to divide it among 4 people, not everybody's going to get a whole cookie. That's less than a whole, or part of one. So I know that this fraction, this number, is going to be between 0 and 1 on the number line. It's not going to be a whole item. It's going to be a part of an item. So I'm going to divide my space in between 0 and 1 into 4 parts because it's going to be divided into 4 parts. It's got a denominator of 4. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to draw 3 lines and show that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. So then I want to show where 3/4 of those parts are going to show up. I have 1, 2, 3 parts out of 4, and I'm going to put my dot right there. When I come down here to the next one, I have 4/5. 4 is less than 5, which tells me that I'm going to be between the whole numbers 0 and 1. On my number line, I'm going to label, here's 0, here's 1, and I'm going to look back at my denominator. My denominator is 5, which means that between 0 and 1, I'm going to separate my number line into 5 parts as best I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, and when I count out the parts, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts. 5 parts because my denominator is 5. Then I'm going to find where 4/5 lies. I'm going to jump. Here's 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, and I'm going to put a dot right there. The next topic we're going to review here is fractions bigger than 1. There's 2 different words that we could call them, 2 different vocabulary things we would say. We'd say they were an improper fraction is one of them. So we know they're an improper fraction if we look at the top and that number is bigger than the bottom. Here we have 16/7. To have a number between 0 and 1, I'm going to have a number on the top that is less than the number on the bottom. But here I have 16, which is way bigger than 7. So this is an improper fraction. To be able to represent this as a picture, we're going to start to draw sets of 7. Our denominator is 7, so we're going to draw sets of 7. So here we go. I'm going to take this rectangle, divide it into 7. So right here, I could say, okay, this one whole rectangle is divided into 1/7, 2/7, 3/7, 4/7, 5/7, 6/7, and 7/7. Okay, well, in this fraction, I have more than 7/7. I have 16. So I'm going to need to draw another whole. Okay, so here's another whole. I already had 7/7. Well, if I started with 16 and I made a set of 7, I'm going to look at what's left. 16 take away 7. Is 9. So I'm going to keep drawing 7s here and divide this whole into 7s. All right, I have 9 left. I started with 16/7. I used 7 of them. I have 9 left. 1/7, 2/7, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I used 7 more. Oh, okay. Well, I needed to get 9/7. I used 7 of them. I still have more. So I had 1 whole. I have 2 whole, but I still have 2/7 left over. I need to draw another whole. Okay, so I had 1 whole, 2 whole, but that used 14/7. So I still need to divide this last whole into groups of 7. But I had 16. I used 7 here. I use 7 here, I use 7 here. I only need to color in 2 more because that's how many I had left. So this picture represents 16/7. I need 7 to make a whole, so I had 2 of those, and I had 2 left over. This shows that I could make the mixed number of 2 and 2/7, which would show I have 2 whole items and 2 leftover pieces right here and here. I could also represent this, or I also could find this mixed number a different way. If I take my fraction, 16/7, and I turn it into the division problem like we just talked about, all fractions are division problems. 16 items divided by 7, or if I'm looking for groups of 7, I have 16 items. I want to put it into groups of 7. I say, okay, well, one group of 7 is 7. 2 groups of 7 is 14. 3 groups of 7 is 21. I only have 16, so I'm going to use this 2. Divide it out, subtract, and I have 2 left over. So my 2 on top is going to be my whole number. I can make 2 whole groups of 7. I have 2 left over, and they were always in groups of 7 to make a mixed number. We can also show mixed numbers in pictures here. This mixed number says that it is bigger than 4. It has 4 as a whole number, and then it has some extra. So we're going to start with 4 whole pizzas here, and we know because 4 is our whole number there, that those pizzas are all whole. And then we have fraction, which is part of a whole. So we're going to need to draw another pizza. We already covered our 4 whole pizzas. We're going to need to draw another pizza. So here are our 4 whole pizzas. We drew another pizza. We're going to break that pizza into 3 because our denominator is 3, but we only have 1 as our numerator, so 1 is on top. This is a picture that shows our mixed number. I could also have each of these wholes cut into 3 pieces if I wanted to, and that would also represent 4 1/3. So then I could use this picture to figure out what my improper fraction would be, because I'm going to count my 1/3 pieces. This is a whole cut into 3 pieces, so each piece is worth 1/3, 1/3, 2/3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7/3, 8, 9, 10/3, 11, 12, and then I have 1 extra. So this would come out in an improper number, or an improper fraction of 13/3. I could show a picture and get my improper fraction, or I could use multiplication, addition, and keeping the denominator the same. I look at my mixed number, I take the denominator times the whole number and get 12, and then I add the numerator and get 13, but keep the denominator the same. That would be the math way to count all those thirds. The ones that I already had drawn up here. So this one's a little bit quicker than having to draw all the pictures. Okay, before you come to the table, excuse me, I would like you to solve this mixed number, make it an improper fraction. We can get mad at it, or we can draw a picture of it. This would have 3 wholes plus some extra. And finally, when you're all done with that, you may write down your secret word. Please do not share your secret word with anyone else. It should be written in your notebook right in this space. Your note should look just like mine. You write what I write. At any time and during the video, if you need to stop it, make sure that you do. And as always, happy mathing.